If you've set up an event with a video option for students to register their attendance, that will now work on a browser, playing on a laptop or desktop or even a mobile device. And the way that students can access this is to come to the iAttendedapp.com website, and on the upcoming tab, it will show future events, but also any video events that are still available to them. When they click on the video icon, it's going to fetch that video and load it inside the browser. This is an event that I've defined to be 1 minute long, and we only need to watch for a quarter of that. So as I start playing it, the timer will start moving. If I pause that and go back to where I was, I get distracted, something happens, and I come back to it. It's going to realize where I was and also place me in the video where I was. So I'm going to keep playing this again. In the meantime, I'm going to start texting my friend. So I pop over here to this other tab, and this pauses. So you can set it up so that, and I'll show you how you would do this, so that in the edit section, you can now with the video enable or disable multitasking. So multitasking disabled is going to do what it just did. If they are elsewhere on their computer or in another tab on their browser, the video is going to stop. The problem with that is you might have students who can't take notes if you want them to be taking notes. So in that case, you might want to enable that so that the video will keep playing while they're elsewhere. I'm going to keep this running. So when it gets down to 0, it's not going to automatically record their attendance. And the reason for that is we need a way to trigger a challenge question. So it's going to turn this into a brighter button. And now we confirm it. It's going to process that and then give us that feedback that we've recorded their attendance. So let's go back to those events. Now that video is no longer showing because I've attended that. So here's one with a quiz to it or a challenge question to it, similar thing. This one will start partway through just to demonstrate just like in the app, if I skip forward, it's not going to wipe my time off. So I'll start this partway through. So it's going to start counting down again. So when it gets to 0, it's going to change the button into a confirm invitation. Until I do something with it, the video will just keep playing. We don't want to pop a challenge question up in the middle of chapel. But when I'm ready, it's going to go and check on the server if there is a question here. So this is asking where it was delivered. I think it was delivered in London. And it turns out, once it gets checked, that will be wrong. So once I get told it's incorrect, and now I get the timer reset to the original values. So just like in the app, if a question is missed on a video, there is a chance to try again if you start the video over. So this time I'm going to do that. One thing that you might want to know is that all of this is happening in the cloud. The question generation, checking the answers, all happening remotely. So there's no data that can be read by any of your computer science majors to try and figure out what would be going on. So here we will answer correctly. So it was delivered in Gettysburg. There actually were a couple of questions here. There were 2. It's randomly given me the same one. But yes, this is correct. Now it's recorded my attendance. So we'll go back to the one video event that will be left now, which is live. This is one that I've configured as a live event that will start in the future. So as I start playing this is just a live streamed YouTube event. The timer's not going to move. So it is there. It is going to tell users how long they're going to have to watch for. But we have a note here to explain why that timer is not running. If the event has ended, then this timer will not even appear at all. If the user is playing this video, as will often happen, they log into chapel a few minutes before, and you have your announcements or various slides or music, it will play when we get to 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, whenever it is that you've scheduled your chapel to start, and the video is playing. This will automatically start counting down without them having to do anything. But until it gets to that moment, nothing will happen. So there you are. There's videos that are now accessible in a browser on a regular computer, which may be useful to a lot of your students. One advantage that this has is that closed captions are much more readily available in this kind of mode as well. So I know some of you have been asking for that. So I hope this is helpful to you, and it should be helpful to many of your students too.